There is a burning frustration deep inside, the ache of falling behind, even when trying so hard to lead. The world changes faster than anyone can keep up, and no matter how many hours are spent grinding or planning, it's like the future is always a step ahead, just out of reach. Founders, investors, leaders, this sense of running uphill, wondering if the next shift or wave will swallow everything they've built, it's real. It grinds at the soul. The problem isn't effort. It isn't desire. It's trust in the old ways, the usual tools, the common forecasts, the rules that everyone insists are sacred. They are holding you back like weights, invisible yet crushing. And yet, the truly great leaders, those who always seem one move ahead, they are playing a different game altogether. Not because they have secret knowledge or more resources, but because they see what most refuse to see. They don't just predict the future. They shape it by shedding what no longer serves, by breaking away from mass thinking, from the comfort zone that dulls sharp instincts and fierce bravery. Many try to stay safe, to fit into a system that promises freedom but rewards playing small, safe, predictable. The world says, follow the road. But what it really wants is compliance, mediocrity in shiny disguise. But the leaders who forge ahead, those who break through, know that this is a lie. Freedom isn't found in following rules or chasing consensus. It's found in being wrong, in being misunderstood, in embracing uncertainty, like a fire that cleanses rather than burns. Behind the confident faces of great leaders is a rebellion, a refusal to accept normal as enough, a burning need to become more than what anyone says is possible. And this is the secret. They don't find answers in the comfort zone. They build their reality outside of it, where most won't follow. Feeling isolated? That crushing loneliness? It's part of the price those leaders pay. When everyone else plays by outdated playbooks, those who dream wildly, who innovate fiercely, often stand apart, untethered, met with skepticism or silence. But isolation isn't a curse, it's a forge. Great leaders use that solitude to sharpen their edge, to unlearn the lies that keep so many trapped. They refuse to be a cog in the machine of mediocrity. Instead, they reinvent their approach daily, tearing down what feels secure to construct something visionary. They trust their own intuition more than expert opinions. They bet on the possibility that the future is not fixed, not a chain to pull, but clay to mold. The key isn't doing more. It isn't trying harder. It's thinking differently. But that might sound vague without breaking it down into something actionable. Great leaders cultivate a mindset that questions everything relentlessly. They don't settle for surface-level trends or easy explanations. Instead of asking, what works? They ask, why does this work? And what happens if I break this? They develop what might feel like an uncomfortable discipline, to be skeptics, not cynics, to question their own assumptions with brutal honesty. And by that, they begin to spot the cracks in the world around them, the places where the system pretends to serve, but actually stalls or suffocates. That relentless inquiry reveals a truth. Most structures are designed for the comfortable majority, not for the exceptional few. Great leaders understand they cannot wait for permission to succeed. They don't depend on existing systems to elevate them, because those systems are built for sameness, for average thinkers. Instead, they create autonomous connections with other rare, driven, like-minded people who refuse to settle. In this network of the few who burn with relentless passion, individual brilliance stops being a lonely fire and becomes a powerful blaze. This is why they're always ahead. They aren't acting alone. They're part of a living web of disruption, where the collective sparks innovation no one else can see coming. Knowing this, what must be done to stop feeling left behind and instead walk in that elite leader's footsteps? First, embrace being uncomfortable. Realize that comfort is your enemy if you want to be ahead. True growth and clarity don't come from following the path of least resistance. They come when you stare into the chaotic unknown and decide to build a new way forward with everything you've got. That means breaking mental habits. The easy beliefs, the automatic acceptance of that's how we do it. It's terrifying, yes. But the leaders who progress fastest don't cling. They let go. They unlearn what the world tried to teach them about success, leadership, safety. Next, build your own infrastructure of support. This isn't a crowd or a broad audience. It's selective and sharp. It's about gathering a few wildly driven people who see the world differently, who challenge each other brutally but fairly, who hold each other accountable to becoming more daring, more clear, more unstoppable. Being around the wrong people kills fire. Being around the right few creates exponential growth. The idea of leaders as lone wolves is a myth. Great leadership is crafted through connection with the right others who ignite your next level. Then, act with sovereignty. This means taking ownership of your will every day without compromises that dull your edge. Sovereignty is fierce self-respect, the unwillingness to let anyone else define your limits or tell you what your capacity is. When a leader owns their sovereignty, fear of failure or rejection loses power. Obedience to outdated traditions or rules becomes irrelevant. This self-mastery is not arrogance. It's the fuel that powers vision beyond the horizon everyone else stares at, imagining the impossible and then claiming it as inevitable. Here's what most don't say loudly. Patience is a secret weapon. The leaders who seem light years ahead are playing a long game, longer than most can imagine. The world rewards instant results and punishes sustained, radical transformation. But the ones who shape the future, those rare few, are patient in their revolution. They don't sprint for applause. They endure through seasons of doubt and invisibility. They build quietly but relentlessly, knowing that eternity favors the slow, the strategic, the steady. That's how real power is built. Not flashy, but deep, durable, impossible to dismantle by those stuck in short-term thinking. Finally, and most importantly, understand this. Your battles are not just personal. They're part of a larger shift away from a broken world that pretends to honor freedom but trains conformity. The new era you lead toward rejects borders of the mind, of geography, of identity. You are not here to serve flags or outdated loyalties. You are here to transcend them, to embody a fierce, undeniable truth that progress comes from unyielding individuals connected by purpose, not dictated by hierarchy or nationality or comfortable systems. This vision might feel radical, dangerous even, and it should, because only the radical disrupt the sleeping giants of stagnation and mediocrity. The truth is that the great leaders who seem one step ahead are not just smarter, they are braver. Braver in rejecting what everyone else desperately clings to. They are willing to burn bridges on the shores of certainty, to build vessels that sail uncharted waters. They cultivate a deep skepticism of ease, refuse to idolize past achievements, and invest in the unknown with passionate precision. They understand that being a leader requires more than skill. It demands relentless transformation, not just of the world, but of themselves, every day. So the key message is clear. If the silence inside you ever whispers that you were made for more, if you feel trapped by the voices demanding comfort and conformity, know that the power to break free rests in your hands. It's not a comfortable journey. It's not a path with neat signposts. But it's the only path to being the kind of leader who is always steps ahead, not because of luck or privilege, but because of unshakable will, radical questioning, hardened patience, selective connection, and a fierce hunger to become more than legacy allows. This moment is not for the timid. It's for those ready to shed illusions and step into that leadership that unsettles the world before it reinvents it. Refuse the offer of easy answers. Instead, embrace the difficult questions. In that crucible, your vision sharpens, your network ignites, your power aligns. You become the leader who isn't waiting for the future but building it. Strong, unbreakable, and always one step ahead. The choice is yours, to settle or to surge forward beyond pain, beyond fear, beyond the status quo. Those who choose the latter, those who dare to redefine reality daily, will not only lead, they will inspire a new world built by the few, for the many, a world no rulebook can contain, a world where freedom isn't a promise, but a relentless practice. And that's why the great leaders you admire don't just anticipate the future, they create it.